What's Up with the Squad, back with another video. I see in the title is going out. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Y'all seen the title? Y'all seen the title? We're going to jump right into it.
You know who has been facing backlash also for a confrontation with an official at Arlington Cemetery after his campaign brought cameras to an event marking the death of 13 soldiers during the exit from Afghanistan. Now, he says he was invited by the families of the fallen soldiers who asked for the photo. But Vice President Harris called it a political stunt, and a lot of veterans also are not happy about it because there were rules about what you can and can't.
I want to know who the veterans is that are mad about it, because they drag stuff like this and say that there's veterans mad, but then they show none of the veterans that's mad. They literally just sit there and talk about it. I need proof of that. I need to see that. You know, I get irritated about it because Biden did the same thing. And we're going to continue to watch this video, and I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to literally show y'all pictures and a video, you know, of that. And my thing is, they're pushing this out to be a bad thing, all because, you know, they invited Kamala, and it's not the first time. They invited Biden. You know, they didn't go. So now that they didn't go and it looks bad on them, they trying to make everything look bad on Trump. Oh, he took cameras. Is this, that, and that. They got to stop doing it.
And not do at Arlington. So the question is do you think this will hurt him? I just want to say, you know.
If anything, it's hurting Kamala.
Said so many disparaging things about vets that I think his mouth is just running and he doesn't know what's coming out.
He called them suckers and losers.
Yeah.
And he said
all kinds of stuff.
He was at a cemetery for World War I, and he said, what's in it for them? What was in it for them?
Yeah.
That's how he approaches the military.
Well, he's never even slightly respected a rule. Why would we think, you know, an Arlington Cemetery, you know, federal DOD policy, whatever, would rank up with the Constitution, which
Isn't
he also...
it a law?
It is. It's a
law.
federal law. There's an Army regulation and there are DOD policies.
And there was a person there
that shared that with them.
Saying that to them.
Yeah.
And
she was allegedly shoved.
And I've done a number of these visits.
See what I mean? That right there, and then Sonny sitting there lying, talking about she was allegedly shoved. That right there gets on my nerves. That already, they didn't start up their show again with lies. Don't sit there and lie. Tosi literally got on air and said there wasn't an altercation. It wasn't much of it wasn't none of that. I didn't see anything.
And she was allegedly shoved.
That's insane, bro.
And I've done a number of these visits to Arlington National Cemetery with Mike Pence, with Secretary of Defense Esper, and there is protocol, and you know it. In this particular section 60, which is veterans of the War on Terror who were killed in action, American heroes, it is a very somber place. When you go, there is no photography. You're likely to see a family there crying and grieving. And I acknowledge she was there at the request of families, but what a leader would do is say, let's go visit the gravesite.
This right here, what a leader would do was would actually be going to that cemetery. Biden, you being a leader, why weren't you at that cemetery? Kamala, you push leadership all the time. You tell little kids, make sure you be a leader, be a leader, be a leader. You telling other people this, but you're not being a leader. So how are you gonna sit there and say this? That's what I don't like with these women that's on The View that say stuff like that about a leader. Trump obviously was the leader by them calling not only Trump, but calling Kamala and Biden to come to that cemetery, pushing all of their attitudes and, I don't like Trump, this, that, and the other. Kamala literally runs away from Trump. She's never had an interaction with Trump whatsoever. And I just put all that to the side. This when they go into that cemetery, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about those lost soldiers and their families. That's what it's about. But they making it seem to be, Trump is pushing this for his campaign, this, that, and the other, this. All because y'all didn't go. Y'all should have went.
And we'll take a picture over there. Instead, he smiled and had his thumbs up there. A friend of mine who has friends buried there wrote a beautiful piece saying, our veterans deserve to not be politicized, and especially those who gave the last sacrifice in war or even back in the United States. Some of them lost to suicide. And to politicize it, we need to be better than that, and he never is.
Well, he could have owned that, because this happened one other time in a former campaign, and they were made aware of it, and immediately the politician came out and said, I am so sorry. They took down the photo.
I think you're right, Sarah. I think he just doesn't care about rules. And I just really believe that someone who has complete disdain for our military should never be the commander-in-chief of our military.
That's right.
I really believe that.
He shouldn't be the commander-in-chief, but we literally been messed up for the past almost 4 years. And he should be the commander-in-chief. Biden and Kamala didn't even show up or even acknowledge or even say anything to these families, did anything for these families, nothing of that sort. Y'all look right now, Trump has spoken to the families. Trump has even, I just seen a post today of Trump reaching out to a family, free amenities, come and stay in my hotel, literally looking out for this family, all the families. But you talking about, he shouldn't be the commander. But y'all, that's full.
Also, someone who is convicted, a convicted felon should never be.
Our
Joe Biden was the opposite. Joe Biden, after he spoke, always said, God bless our
because
men in
his
uniform.
son gave the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all have family members in the military. But I just want to say, Trump's own brother, a nephew rather, Fred Trump, said that his father was the only Trump who has ever served, and he volunteered to serve.
What does that have to do with anything, bro? My brother and our family, our immediate family, that he was the only one that served. My dad, obviously, he's been a police officer for 25 years, 26 years. But my brother, he served in the military, and my dad obviously couldn't go. He has bad asthma. I have really bad asthma, and I wanted to go to the military. Some people aren't. They can't go to the military. And so what? Like, I'm just confused on how they do everything they can to bash Trump on this show.
In the Air Force National Guard. And he said, quote, Trump, well, I can't say the whole thing because of the curse word, but he said Donald Trump doesn't give a blank about people who serve in the military.
Right,
he knows that about his
but this is the first
uncle.
time that he's got.
That's opinions. I'm sure, it's a lot of people out in the world that have an opinion on their family member. I mean, that's just what it is. You think just because he's a nephew of Trump that he's right, or he's I'm confused, and they just push out stuff to be. I want to show y'all this. I want to show y'all this photo in this clip. Okay, so this clip right here, literally, campaign ad with Biden standing over a tombstone at the Arlington National Cemetery. Meanwhile, Joe Biden at Arlington Cemetery for a photo op. Trump does it by invitation and request. Like, I literally don't get it here. Is this not I'm confused. This is Biden right here, right? So like my thing is they push this to be, Trump did. Like, come on, y'all. This man got an invitation from the families. He's out there doing this. They got an invitation too. They just didn't come. So now that they didn't show up, they didn't attend. Now it's a big problem. Trump, he's this bad person. He doesn't follow the rules. This, that, and the other. That's messed up. I can't stand that. I literally can't.
Ceremony.
This is what what's his name? Tom Cotton has to say about it.
Another one of the big headlines this week, Donald Trump's visit to Arlington. All right, let me ask you about another one of the big headlines this week, Donald Trump's visit to Arlington National Cemetery. You've been talking about this. He attended a wreath-laying ceremony, obviously, for the 13 service members who were killed during the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. He was invited by those family members, important to say that. He also had campaign staffers with him. Photos, videos were posted on a campaign site. Taking campaign photos and videos at grave sites is forbidden under federal law. You, of course, served at Arlington Cemetery in the Old Guard, so I know that this is a sacred place for you. Bottom line, though, I guess, Senator, is it ever appropriate to make campaign?
So listen what he says. So when the women on The View talking about, oh yeah, this veterans mad, this, that, and other.
Content
at
military grave sites.
He didn't take campaign photos there. These families, Gold Star families, whose children died because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's incompetence, invited him to the cemetery. And they asked him to take those photos because, as they told me yesterday, when I spoke to Kelly Barnett and Darren Hoover, the parents of Taylor Hoover, who has Arkansas ties, they don't get to go to the beach on Labor Day. They don't get to have barbecues. This is their one chance to have a memory of their children, to commemorate their service and to honor their sacrifice. They wanted President Trump there. They wanted to take those photos. You know who the families also invited? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Where were they?
Exactly.
Joe Biden was sitting at a beach. Kamala Harris was sitting at her mansion in Washington, D.C. She was 4 miles away. 10 minutes. She could have gone to the cemetery.
She was 4 miles away, and she didn't show up. And y'all telling me? Come on, y'all.
And honored the sacrifice of those young men and women. But she hasn't. She never has spoken to them or taken a meeting with them.
Well, they did meet with them during the dignified transfer. They were with them at the dignified transfer.
Her and Joe Biden's incompetence, those 13 Americans were killed in Afghanistan.
And that just goes to show y'all right there the truth about everything. So when you sit there and you got Sonny Hostin and you got you got Joy Behar, you got Whoopi that's all sitting there talking about, oh yeah, this, that, and other veterans, they're mad about it, this, that, and other. Come on now. Y'all heard from Tom Cotton. I mean, let's be for real. Let's be serious. When I do these videos, I make sure I got my receipts. I make sure I got the real. I make sure I got the facts. I got all it. I'm telling you, and it's all right here. One thing about it, The View literally get on there and talk, you know, and put out so much negative things about Trump, so many lies. They never have the facts right there in front of them. They don't show you different clips and this, that, and the other. But I am. Make sure y'all to like, but subscribe, and definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.